Just like that, as though we didn't start the week just yesterday, Friday is here. It's the last day for unpacking for the week, okay, and for Culture Daily as well. And I'm glad to be having this conversation with the two gentlemen that I'm about having it with. Now, they are producers and music heads, okay. We have Shyne and Lucky. So let's get into the whole beginning for how they came onto the scene. They started, Shyne started when he was a teenager, right? So we'll get into that, and then Lucky as well will speak more about, you know, music and what it means to him, what it's been for him, and the whole 9 yards. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Glad that you are here. Let's start with Shyne, okay? I mentioned that it started for you as a teenager. So you take us through how it all began and even how you discovered that you loved music or you wanted to be a music producer at 13. And then we go to Lucky also in knowing and understanding how the journey began for you.
All right.
So personally, I grew up with music, always just playing. So my parents just played music, and one day I just really wanted to learn piano, and I actually started to teach myself how to play piano, and that interest really just took over. And as soon as I entered high school, a lot of my friends were just like, "Hey, you play piano, so why don't you actually just make music so we can actually make music together?" And then that's just how it really started.
Okay. Lucky.
So, same thing basically. I grew up with music. My dad used to play guitar. So as a young boy, I would always see a picture in the living room of him, having a guitar. And I always used to make kind of jokes about it, because growing up, I never saw him with a guitar, but he used to play guitar before I obviously knew. And he's a big reggae head, he listens to a lot of reggae.
Okay.
And my mum is also very musical, so I think from a young age they started seeing my interest and they picked up on it, because I would always look for music around me. I would look at something.
I like that.
Yeah, I would start drumming. So to this day I'm grateful for my dad, because one day I came home and he bought me a keyboard.
Okay.
And that was just the best day of my life. And that was basically my introduction into music. So I started with piano lessons and stuff.
Okay.
And when I reached the age of 16, I was I already play piano, so it's why don't I take this further, right?
Also as a teenager, that's exciting. Now, also, there's the conversation about some parents not supporting their children when it comes to the arts, right? So the excitement for me about both of your stories is that you were able to start at a really young age,
True.
right?
I had to do my law degree though. I had to put that first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the condition.
No, I was obviously when I was 7, I was just having fun with life. But he introduced music into my life at a very young age. But it wasn't I could pursue music fully and just be okay, forget everything else. It was always my son, he'll be a doctor, lawyer. And I studied law, actually finished my degree as well. But for me, it's fully focused on music now.
On music now, that's great.
That was the kind of deal.
That's great. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, in supporting the arts as well, I understand that, you people were not exactly born in Ghana, but you also understand that with parents, right, they would choose, some parents would choose any other discipline above the arts, right? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that I'm excited that they supported you too when you were really, really young, right? So the journey to becoming Shyne and the journey to becoming Lucky after discovering your love for music and then also putting your hand to the plow as teenagers, how has that been like? Because you two have worked with, really big names in the industry.
I feel it's been crazy because a few years ago when I really just started, I never thought I would work with certain people. And it's just how should I explain this? It just shocks me every time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal. Even us, this 2025, end of 2024 also started crazily. We've had sessions with Odumodu Black, Oxlade. Shout out to Small God. He's setting this all up.
Oh, the plug,
the Accra president. Yeah. So Oxlade, Odumodu Black, that Kenny one.
Yeah.
Oh, you've done
Abracadabra.
You've done music with Black Sharif as well.
Yeah.
Black Sharif. Oh yeah, he also came through.
Stoneboy as well.
Yeah.
Stoneboy as well.
So it's just been mad. It's there's no time to process all these sessions. You just going back to back to back, and then.
Do you work on these sessions together, or is it on different songs?
We did some songs together and some songs separately.
It's just where the music takes us. Sometimes I'll be in a session, he will join me. Sometimes he'll be in another studio.
Okay.
It's just freestyle basically.
Now, I know that sometimes, or most of the time, it's difficult for music producers or artists to tell us, when exactly the song is coming and all of that. But out of all of these people that you've mentioned, how long did it take you to put these masterpieces together? And then also, how soon should we look forward to it dropping?
Well, it really depends.
Really depends.
I mean, it's always a thing as a producer. You know what it is? Okay, for example, the song I made with Odumodu Black. The next day, he posted it on his Instagram, like the first teaser of the year.
Okay.
So then it's like safe to say that's gonna come soon.
That'll be
right?
One of the first songs. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's always like I release my own music as a producer as well, so that gives me more rights to be like, okay, I want this and this to come out at this time. But when it's the artist's song, it's just God's timing.
It's on to them.
Yeah,
Okay. Or is it that it drops or it doesn't drop at all?
Yeah.
We agree.
We see the ones that are banner and they don't drop. I take them. I'm like, yo, you don't want to release this?
You do?
It's fire, yeah, of course.
So what happens? You pay for it, or they just?
You know, it is when you have a good relationship with an artist, you make a lot of music with them. Sometimes, for example, when it comes to like certain things, you just be like, okay, you have this one, and then when they're like, okay, this is fire, but right now my releasing schedule is quite busy.
Okay.
You take this one. It's just about seeing which
so
artist.
there's an understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I like working with artists that you build with. And also working with artists more often, because I used to have a time where I'd be working with this artist and that artist. You don't really build up like a connection, so then it's really hard to be like, okay, let me do this.
Okay, I get that. We'll come to some branches of music production really soon, how you've been able to also go beyond music production, right? And then we'll talk about Lucky Hour for you, Lucky. But Shyne, over the years, what are some of the changes and the growth that you've seen when it comes to music production? And then how have you immersed yourself in the change as well?
Okay, so I think for me, in the beginning, I really had to prove myself because I'm an Asian and I'm making Afrobeats music.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, like people were just a little bit skeptical, but as soon as like, I think it was this session with LAX from Nigeria. I think he was the first artist that really started to fuck with my music, and then he was like, oh, I really have to push you. And then all of a sudden I had Techno that was DMing him about like, hey, who produced a song for you?
Right.
Then all of a sudden it's DJ Tunes like asking him like, hey yo, who's this guy? And yeah, I think it's just like for me it's just very funny because I never thought that.
It will get there. But what piqued your interest in specifying the genre that you champion, that's Afrobeats? Because someone will say that it's broad, right? There are so many other genres that you can dabble in and champion, but why did you decide on Afrobeat, especially also because you are not African or black?
Okay, so imagine in Netherlands, the radios, like, okay, imagine you have white radio and then you have urban radio, which is one station. So anybody just grows up with the urban radio. So they were playing like Afrobeats, they're playing rap, they're playing this and that and that. So I think like, yeah, that's just the influence that it had on me because I was listening radio all the time and it just grew on me.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, Lucky, the growth and the branches that I spoke on, right? What are some of the openings for a music producer, if you want to do this and do it seriously, do it full time, right? What are other things that people can also do that's money-making branches within, that space?
Okay, so how to sustain a living while trying to become a full-time producer?
Or even while you're still a music producer, what are other things that you can do? Yeah.
I think anything that keeps you in that creative space.
Okay.
So obviously people need to make ends meet, but if you can find a way to use your music to also make ends meet,
okay,
aside from the music production, that would be great. For example, I do workshops in juvenile prisons. Back in Amsterdam.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's basically working with music, but then with like youth who are locked up, right?
Yeah.
And the last thing they want is to be reminded of how locked up they are. And
or why they were locked up.
Yeah, why they're locked up. I don't even talk about that. We just get in, we make music, and even now I'm here. I'm hearing that they're waiting for me to come back to make music. So Like that's a way.
And that's so
And-
cool, because I think that would be sort of like an outlet for them to,
For sure.
you know,
Express themselves.
to
Yeah.
pour out exactly
For sure,
their creativity.
for sure.
So
But even DJing, for example, I started producing when I was 16, and I started DJing 2 years later when I was 18.
okay.
And that DJing went through the roof. Within like 3 weeks, I had my first show. Within 2 years, I won that DJ awards for best DJ in the Netherlands. So with DJing, it can go quite quickly.
Okay.
You're producing, you open up your laptop, you make some stuff, and you be like, let me just turn it off again. The next day, you open it up again. So it's like, it's a love-hate kind of relationship until you really start making progress and you start seeing the releases and you're having studio
And
sessions with the
start
artists.
seeing the
Yeah, and also, to be honest, I put the money aside. It's just like, for example, now, we haven't even seen money, but it's just about working with the artists that you like working with. The money will come.
How
So
do you
that-
mean you've not seen money?
Like,
Because I'm trying to understand, because I would just assume that once you're working, maybe you'd have a certain split agreement with the artists that
Sure,
you're working with,
yeah.
and then they are going to pay you either before the song is out or after the song is out, however you guys decide.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand, when you say that you haven't seen money, what exactly do you mean?
so you said it in a good way. Like, you can either get the money beforehand or afterhand. Most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, you get the money afterhand.
After, okay.
So
And that
when you're-
depends on how well the song does it?
Also just like if people want to commit to pay, because sometimes some artists will tell you,
Right.
oh, we want to pay, and then they will actually just
Oh.
like take forever. So they won't.
Yeah, but I put my manager on those kind of people. I will double down. Like, you pay me.
You have to.
Yeah, but you know, it's what I meant by that is that you'll be in a session, but you won't be thinking about the money. You probably won't even see the money today or tomorrow.
So the passion comes forward first.
Yeah, being a producer is really, it's important. If you want to be a producer with like longevity and a long career, you really need to have the passion for music, because you'll be making long nights. We barely slept. We were in the studio yesterday. I was telling Darko I need to go. She's like, nah, let's finish this song. So I
Oh,
slept.
Darko is in Ghana?
Yeah, the UK Darko.
Yeah. Because you said she needs to go, I just figured
Yeah, exactly.
who
Yeah.
exactly we're talking
When I say
about.
Darko, a lot of people here think of Darko vibes.
Darko
but yeah,
vibes,
yeah.
oh,
No, Darko's
okay.
going crazy right now. Shout out to
Okay.
her as well. But
Okay.
slept 2
We are
hours.
looking forward to that song as well in a
Yeah,
way. But let's talk
sure.
about Lucky Hour, right? How the whole concept came about. And I think it's a really nice name. Also because you are called Lucky, it only makes sense to, you know, we have Happy Hour, we have Lucky Hour. It makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. So just tell me more about Lucky Hour.
It's funny, my radio show is actually called Lucky Hour. They're probably referring to the radio that you were talking about. We've got the urban radio in Amsterdam, and we've got like the pop
radio.
and like the white people kind of radio. I DJ, I have a weekly radio show at Phonics, which is the Lucky Hour. And the way Lucky came about, I'm half Nigerian, I'm half Ghanaian.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Oh.
Not to say that Lucky's my Nigerian name, but you see,
I think there are
Nigerians-
people called Lucky. in Ghana.
yeah, Nigeria is like blessing, lucky, hope. So
we have, I think, for Ghana as well, more so the LS, right?
Yeah, okay.
We do peace. We have that will be done.
Our Shanti. So,
Oh, okay.
My real name is Kweku.
Oh,
Yeah. So Lucky just came about because I don't know. I was always just the person that when I walk into a room, people feel like there's this Dutch word, gelukkig, which is basically you can't really translate.
can you
it.
say that again? I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but
Yeah, take caution. Gelukkig.
okay, let's continue.
You don't try to attempt it.
No, I won't try.
Geluk is like the easy one. Geluk literally means luck. So when I walk
Okay,
into a room,
geluk.
people, geluk.
Look,
Yeah.
did I get that?
Kind of.
Okay.
You get there. But it's just people feel that feeling of luck,
Okay.
of being happy. So people just started calling me like geluk.
Lucky.
And then from there it was like lucky.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
just it.
because you've touched on, you know, the onset of your name, right? Shyne. What was it for you as well? Getting the name Shyne, unless that's your actual name.
For me, getting that name, it was basically because like I was very silent at the beginning, so people just
I
call
didn't
me
get what you
shy.
Okay. Okay.
But then like at school, like after like they actually knew me, then they were like, oh, he's shining. But then they were just like with a Y.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Now, that said, how would you say your 2024 went? You've mentioned a few people that you work with, but how was the year for you when it comes to music? Because I think that in 2024, a lot more music releases were done. Like, there was an influx, you know, of artists and so many songs. And I think that last year was one of the years that people opened up to any genre at all and considered good music, regardless of what genres, you know, that they fall under, right? So how was it like for you both?
Yeah, 2024 was definitely a good year, musically speaking. I feel like there's been a lot of like TikToking and everything, which people are kind of tired of, and the quality music is coming back, which is amazing. As a producer who actually loves quality music. For me personally, it was the first time I hit the Dutch top 50 charts with a production.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Which is with a Ghanaian, Dutch Ghanaian called Mensa.
Okay.
Yeah, so shout out to him as well. Work a lot with him.
What song was that?
It was called, it's gonna be another Chrono.
Oh, okay.
Chrono 24.
It's fine.
But yeah, it's a banger. So 2024 was definitely a good year for me, and I just look forward to what's coming. We ended the year with a lot of shows here in Ghana, so it was definitely a good way for me to end the year at shows at, can I say the names?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, Polo Beach Club, Road to Fuego, shout out to Small Good again, DJ that Eden, Front Back tonight as well. So it's a whole lot of shows and a whole lot of like things to be grateful for.
We like to hear that. Shyne, how was 2024 for you?
2024 for me was very good. I think I worked on, I think it was, I got my first gold certification last year for turntable for Apala Disco.
Okay.
And then I think I did 3 songs with Wizkid, 3 tunes.
Are all of the songs out?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Tunes as them.
Okay.
And then, I just think it was very fruitful.
Very fruitful. That's good. That's good to know. Now, I'm going to ask you too about Afrobeats, okay? Also because now people say that it's not a lasting genre, right? It's not going to be here for a long time.
Who says that?
Because
Who says that? I've never heard that.
No, it is there, yeah.
That's crazy.
I think that also what people think is because there's been infiltration by a lot of other cultures, right? It seems to water down, you know, as the days go or as the months go by. And then also with the fact that there are so many songs that are being churned out on a daily basis. So you're not exactly able to fully finish soaking one song, and then there's another one, and then there's another one, right? By the end of the month, you've even forgotten that this song was released earlier in the month, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I feel like quality will always prevail. So, and especially when we use the term Afro beats, it's like it really derives from Afro beat, right? So Afro beats is kind of like this umbrella term for everything that is like Afro music. So I feel like
African.
Yeah. So for me, saying that it's gonna die down or it's gonna slow down, I don't see that happening because it continues to evolve. And if there's like a new subgenre, people will be like, oh, this is Afro beats, right? And that will carry the way forward. So. I'm hopeful.
Okay, hopeful. That's for Lucky. Shyne.
For me, I'm also just hopeful because, like, I feel like, Rema and all those people, Burna and Rema, they opened the door, and right now I feel like the influx of African music will only grow. That's like how I feel. This.
Okay, so how I'm understanding what you're saying is they've opened the door, so it's okay for everybody to come through the door. Right?
No, that's not what I mean.
Okay, so what exactly do you mean?
More so, like, internationally speaking, I mean, it's just like African music has been more accepted now.
Right.
Because like if you go back like maybe 10 years, you would only hear like maybe 1 or 2 songs. But now anywhere you go, they'll play it at the club, they'll play it at like restaurants, whatever. So
and you don't even have to be African to jam to it or enjoy it. So.
Yeah, people will vibe. Regardless.
People will vibe. That's true. That's true.
It's a global sound.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I agree. I agree to it being global, but anyway, people will always have their opinions on genres and stuff like that. So yeah, but Shyne, how is 2025 looking like for you? Being that you had a very fruitful 2024, how are you building up on that?
Okay, so this year I'm going to start DJing.
Okay.
So last year I've been building a lot of like songs with DJ tunes. I'm supposed to like go back to back with him this year. So. The debut is coming.
Okay, okay. All right. Are you still going to use the same name, Shyne, or
it will be Shiny?
Shiny.
Yeah.
That will be your DJ name.
Yeah.
And the production name will still be Shyne. Okay. All right. Lucky, how's 2025 looking like for you?
It's looking good. Working on the album right now as we speak. So that's gonna be my like first studio album.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna connect a lot of the sound that I've grown up with.
What would these sounds be?
So I was born in Amsterdam, but I grew up in London, and a lot of the music they make in Holland, the Netherlands, Amsterdam, is kind of like watered down Afro.
Okay.
And that's not to say that it's any less, but I feel like musically speaking, I have to kind of like hold myself in. And I really wanna, because I've already done a release with a Dutch artist and a Ghanaian artist, so Young Ali, with Darko Vibes back in 2021, and people liked it a lot. People here and people back there. So for me, it's about really like building that bridge between the two and bringing them together. Just the quality musicians back home and the quality musicians here.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
are you going to tell us some of the artists that you're putting on your album?
Unfortunately, not.
I'm not asking for the title of the song.
I understand, but I might tell you. I might tell you something now,
and
then it won't be like that.
Okay.
Or I might give you a name, and then, you know, I just believe in that it will be God's timing. It's definitely coming out in 2025.
Okay.
It will definitely be a crazy,
I was just
crazy
trying
album.
my luck. They never
I
say
understand.
anything. So
I understand.
We'll wait. We'll wait. So aside the album, what else are you planning on?
So yeah, my main focus is on the album. Obviously, doing shows, continuing to do studio sessions, making waves back here as well, back home, and not just coming for, because I used to come for like maybe video clips or come and see my family for a bit. But right now, I really wanna. In 2025, I'm already looking at, for example, October, being here until like January, like 4 months. So really, really soaking it in, really being on the ground where it happens, as opposed to just going up and down.
Okay, but before I have you to leave me, right? Shyne, is this your first time in Ghana?
Yes.
Are you coming back?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Every year, I think.
Every year? Yay! Okay, what's the excitement for you about Ghana?
Everything. I just feel like the vibes, it's just so calm. It's just like, for me, I get peace in my head because like in Amsterdam, it's just like fast. Here I can just get some rest. I can just do my music. I get inspired. That's it.
Okay. So the vibe, the music,
Everything,
the
the people,
the
everything.
women, the food. I had to add that. I want to be sure. Because it's all part of it, isn't it? So yeah, we'll be waiting to host you again. I'm sure you've had a good time, and shouts to Small God and then also to Atta Kilson. I know that they've made sure that you people have had a good time while in Ghana.
For sure.
So,
For real.
Yes, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So it's been Unpacking, talking to Shyne and Lucky Jones. If you missed the first or some parts of the conversation, you can catch it on our YouTube later on. My name is Lenny Lomote. Do enjoy the rest of our show.